Shouldn't website backup in the cloud be easy? With CodeGuard, it is. In this tutorial, we'll show you how to back up your first website with CodeGuard. Click on the interactive tutorial directory to jump to a particular instructional section. Here we are on CodeGuard's homepage. What you want to do first is hit the login in the top right corner and enter your email and password for the account. Once logged in, you'll see the list of websites already created on the account. But for today, we want to go to the bottom and hit Add New Website. It'll bring you to a page where you enter your website's URL and FTP credentials. You have the option to choose between FTP and SFTP. We recommend using SFTP because the files are encrypted and more secure, but for this example, we'll just be using FTP. We then want to test the website's connection. It goes through successfully, so we then hit Connect Your Website to establish the connection. CodeGuard uses Google's Safe Browsing API once an hour to make sure that no malware is detected on your website. If any malware is detected, you are notified immediately. We are then taken to the website directory where you can choose which files you want CodeGuard to capture. You'll ordinarily want to select public HTML, but for this demo, we'll just select a few files, then hit Capture Code. Here we see the backup progress tracker. We already know that we were able to connect to the server, so the next step will be the retrieval of the contents. As you can see by the tracker, the backup has begun. CodeGuard offers automatic scaling of resources, so there is no waiting. The backup will always begin immediately, regardless of how many websites are being backed up simultaneously. After a connection is established, the file structure of your site is analyzed to see if the files and directories there. Afterwards, CodeGuard begins to transfer those files to EC2. We use EC2 for most of the heavy lifting, but the storage of all the backups is done on Amazon S3. The reliability of S3 is 99.99999%, meaning that one file storage object is lost every 10,000 years, an impressive number. Once the files are transferred, we will commit them to Git. That allows CodeGuard to track all of the changes on your site, as well as use a differential backup. This will keep your backups as small as possible, which will keep you below the storage requirements so that over time, small changes to your site will not greatly increase the size of your backups. Once the backup is completed, we can close the progress report. The first thing you see here is a visual representation of the backup we just completed. We added 23 files and didn't change or remove any files since it was our first backup. As shown here, there are 15 hours until the next backup will occur. Below, you will see a display of the type of files that were backed up. The next thing we want to do is add a database, so we scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Add Database. You first want to input the host name to confirm that the connection is successful. It will then bring you to the next page where you enter your SQL credentials. You are given the option to connect directly or tunnel through SSH to add security. For today, we will just choose to connect directly and hit Next Step. We are then given the option to select a database. Once you have selected it, hit Add Database. We are then taken to a similar progress tracker, where again EC2 is used to transfer data before storage in S3. CodeGuard comes with 3 restore options in case your website has any issues or you simply would like to change files back to a previous form. The restore options are to request a zip, to restore everything, or to restore selected files. For example, we'll request a zip. Once it's done, you can click to download the zip backup. You can then go through and manually choose to restore certain files. The other two options are for restoration done automatically through CodeGuard. We'll look at some established sites to see what multiple backups look like. Here you can see another demo and testing site. There were no changes on May 27th at 6:35 a.m., but at 3:38 a.m., there were more than 30 files added, 0 changed, and 0 removed. Viewing all the backups gives you a more extensive history, even though the visual only gives data for the last few days. In this list, you will see if on a given day CodeGuard found any changes. If not, you'll see no changes, like here on the right. If changes are found, the owner of the website is sent an email, but this can be changed by going to the settings. We will now go over a few setting options. No passwords are stored in the account in plain text, and if a password needs to be changed, you can do so here, but you are not able to simply view the password. Next, we have a few options for monitoring by CodeGuard. The options are never, daily, weekly, or monthly. Below, you'll find the settings for email notifications. Currently, the settings dictate that we are notified every time an action is performed or an update is discovered. The notifications are also filtered currently, so that when changes to logs, cache, and statistics files occur, we are not notified. That's the bulk of the functionality for CodeGuard. There are some additional security features that can be found up here under Settings. Here you can enable two-factor authentication, which will send you a text message every time someone tries to log in with your email address. You would then have to enter a specific 7-digit number to be able to access your account. Our Pro accounts also have IP logging, which shows which IPs are logged in and what actions were taken from that IP address. That concludes our tutorial. Once again, here's a list of topics we covered in the video in case you would like to revisit any section again. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and we hope it aided in you successfully backing up your website with us.